Who doesn't love free? So today I'm giving you the best free Quest 2 games. Let's do it. First up is Ultimex. Ultimex is a multiplayer sports mech game that is sort of a combination of Rocket League and mechs, where you have to try to get the ball to go into the goal using your mech. There are several different mechs you can choose from, and it's kind of node-based, so you'll bounce from node to node, almost like a foosball table, if you will, sort of, where you kind of take a position and the teammates take a position and you hit the ball from that position, but you can still bounce around. Gets pretty hectic at times, but it can be a lot of fun. It's by Resolution Games, and you'll notice a few different games by them actually on this list. But if you're looking for a free sports mech style game, then this is definitely something you should be looking at. Speaking of sports, Echo VR is probably one of the best, if not the best, free sports games you can get in virtual reality. This is a arena-based game where one team is pitted against another to throw the disc through the goal on the other side of the arena, all in zero gravity. Yes, that's right, you'll be floating through space using your wrist rockets to accelerate yourself and grabbing onto the environment and twisting and pushing yourself to try to score a goal. Oh, and to punch the other guys in the head to disable them momentarily. It's like a really fun zero-gravity version of soccer or football or something along those lines, except, like I said, you can punch people in the head, and it's one of those games I wish I could play more of, but it's a fantastic free online multiplayer game. Next up, another Resolution Games game is Bait. If you're looking for a fishing game, then Bait is a great game to check out. It's a simple, kind of cartoony, yet fun, sort of story-based fishing game, and with the brand new updates that just came out, it's even better with multiplayer and a brand new place you can go and hang out with friends and play games. There's a lot of great stuff you can now do in Bait. Next up is a game that's actually on App Lab called Battle Talent. This is a physics-based combat game that continues to get better. It is kind of in early access beta sort of right now, but it's got a lot of stuff going for it, including the ability to mod if you have a PC and you want to try modding. But Battle Talent has some pretty crazy physics stuff going on and some really cool mechanics that'll make you feel like you're in a Devil May Cry game, which is one of the reasons that I keep going back to it. Next up is Gun Raiders. Gun Raiders is a free shooter, is a free-to-play game, so there are paid elements to it that you can buy. They have different seasons and you can buy unlockables and stuff, but it's not like a pay to win, so you don't have to worry about that. It's more of a voxel style kind of simplistic graphics, but it's fast paced, it's a shooter, and it's fun. So if you're looking for like a first person shooter with seasons and a lot of stuff going on consistently and a good amount of people playing it, Gun Raiders is pretty great. Next up, you can't have a free game list in virtual reality without mentioning one of the best games that's free of all time, Rec Room. This isn't just free in virtual reality, it's free on a lot of other platforms as well, but VR is the optimal way to play this game because there's so much you can do. From playing disc golf to dodgeball to checking out user-generated rooms and playing through quests. It's one of the most fun multiplayer games that you can play, and it's absolutely free. But there is so much happening in this game. There is a freaking Jurassic Park game that you can play that was created by a user, and it's fun and it's fantastic, and there's just innumerable amounts of things to do in Rec Room, so I highly recommend checking it out if you want something free to do. This next game is Blast On, and this did not used to be free. It is free to play now, which is awesome. Blast On is a 1v1 multiplayer game. It doesn't have to be played in multiplayer. You can actually play against bots as well, but it's a lot more fun when you play in multiplayer. It's very talent-based, and as you start off, you'll get used to what the guns do and how they function, and you'll have to build a strategy. But it's got a lot of cool things, a special hangout area. You can do tournaments in there. It's a fantastic and well-built multiplayer game with some really cool slow-mo style dodging type of elements. And now that it's free, it's even better. Next up, a true first-person shooter in Pavlov Shack. This is more like your Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, but Pavlov Shack is currently free in beta. No one really knows exactly how much longer that's going to last, it being free, but if you want a first-person shooter with some more realistic gunplay elements and just a really fun time, I would definitely check out Pavlov Shack. Next up is a more educational type of experience called Mission ISS. Now, be very careful with this one. This one will get even some of the most veteran VR players motion sick because of the way that it works, but it's really cool to go and visit the International Space Station. It is free, and it's really cool to go for a spacewalk, and it's pretty overwhelming and mind-blowing, really. Just like I said, be careful with how much you move around, and keep an eye on how motion sick you get, because even I still get motion sick playing that game. Next up is less a game and more of an experience, or kind of a place you can go and watch stuff, and that's big screen VR. Big screen is one of my favorite places to go and watch stuff and hang out with people. It's actually one of the only places you can really do that. There are a few other options, but this is by far the best social video viewing or cinema viewing type of experience, with consistent updates and the ability to watch things like TV, rent movies, play your own movie content on a giant, huge screen, even in a drive-in. There's so much you can do here, and there's always public rooms going on you can join, and people watching movies or television shows or videos or whatever, and there's a lot of themed rooms like anime and cartoons. There is a lot here. You could actually get the Quest 2 just to watch stuff in this, and it would be well worth doing that. This next one is a hand tracking game. I wanted to include a free hand tracking game, and my favorite one is still Elixir. There's a couple other ones out there, but this is the one that's on the main store that is free, and it's a lot of fun. It's really cool. It shows you the potential of hand tracking using no controllers to control things for the Quest 2. It's short, but it's fun, and it allows you to have like these Wolverine type of claws for part of it, which is still one of my favorite things I've ever done in a hand tracking game on the Quest. All right, you can't have a list of free experiences without talking about VR chat. VR chat is one of those things where there's a lot of stuff to look at, a lot of weird stuff to look at, if I'm being honest. There's some really crazy stuff in VR chat, so you got to kind of be careful where you go depending on what you want to see, but there's also a lot of really cool stuff as well. A lot of user-created worlds and things that you can do and experience, and different avatars you can become. You can become your favorite characters. VR chat's one of those places you could sink hours and hours into, even on the Quest 2. You even have the option now to use hand tracking inside of VR chat, so you don't even need controllers. You can use your fingers and your hands, and it'll track inside of the game. It's experimental, but it's still pretty cool. I definitely recommend jumping in with some friends to VR chat and exploring some worlds. There's just some really amazing places to see. Last on the list, I'd probably get in trouble with a lot of people if I didn't mention Gorilla Tag. It's a free-to-play game that's been around for quite a long time. It's got like over 40-something thousand reviews just when it was on App Lab. It's one of the most popular, if not the most popular game on the Quest. It is just kind of stupid fun, chasing each other as gorillas. It's got unique locomotion. It's fun if you get with the right people. I mention this every time. If you jump into a public room, be ready for a lot of vulgar language, especially from young kids. I don't know why that is, but every room I've ever jumped into in Gorilla Tag that's public has had what sounds like 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds that don't know how to use any other word but the F word and every other word between. So be careful if you're going to jump into a public room in Gorilla Tag. Well, there you go, a quick best free Quest 2 games for you. If you've just got a Quest 2 for Christmas, congratulations. Now you got some free games to check out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications for more Quest 2 content. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and happy questing.